Hello and welcome to TEK Construction Services. We're happy to have you on our team and look forward to getting you started on your assignment. First, we need to discuss our number one priority, safety. Safety is an integral part of our culture at TEK. In order for you to be successful here, you will need to conform to this culture and abide by our rules and procedures. We have a zero tolerance for nonconformance. Since you're viewing this video, chances are you have spent time on various construction projects and understand the general safety practices. Industry statistics show that 80% of all accidents are the result of unsafe acts by employees. We pledge to do our best to provide a safe work environment. Only you can prevent the unsafe acts. TEK provides a multiple of specialized construction services, and with that comes a number of risk factors not found in conventional construction sites. We hope you pay close attention to this short video and join us in reaching our mutual goal: work safe, home safe.
Hi, my name is Mark Schaefer and I'm the Executive Vice President in TEK in charge of safety. Over the next several minutes, we are going to discuss three general safety areas with you. First, the safety priorities that we strive to achieve every day. Second, our general safety policies and procedures. And third, our more specific task-oriented policies and procedures. All so that you are able to work safely in our jobs each and every day. At TEK, our safety priorities are as follows. 1. Comply with all safety laws, regulations, and standards. 2. Provide a safe and healthful work environment each and every day. 3. Recognize and correct hazards discovered in the workplace immediately. 4. Communicate our safety policies and procedures to you so that you are aware of our safety culture here at TEK Construction Services. 5. Provide safety training so that you are well equipped for your job. And 6. Place safety first. Safety trumps everything else at TEK Construction Services. If we can't do it safely, we won't do it at all. Please pay very close attention to the next several minutes of this video, and welcome to TEK Construction Services.
Let's review our general safety rules. First, report any unsafe conditions immediately to your foreman. Your foreman is here to have your back and will look out for your interests. Let him or her know about any possible unsafe circumstances as soon as possible, and they will take care of correcting it for you immediately. Use and possession of firearms or weapons is prohibited. Weapons of any kind are prohibited on TEK sites and all of our customer sites. Use or possession of illegal drugs or alcohol is prohibited. For obvious reasons, any mental or physical impairment is extremely detrimental to maintaining a safe work environment. Harassment of any kind is prohibited. Simply stated, treat people how you would wish to be treated. Follow all instructions of TEK supervisory personnel or the Director of Safety. Make certain you understand any work or safety instructions provided. If you are in doubt, call a safety timeout and ask questions. Your right to call a safety timeout is protected. No one can tell you you cannot call a timeout. Practice good housekeeping. Clean up after yourself when on the site. Not only does it provide a safer work environment, but it presents a better image of TEK to our clients. After all, you don't want to trip over your own trash or someone else's trash. Make certain you report all injuries or near misses to your foreman immediately. If you're injured, our first priority is to get you the medical treatment you need. Our next priority is to find out why the incident occurred and take the necessary steps to prevent a reoccurrence. Job safety analysis. Job safety analysis are very important to the working planning process. We prepare JSAs daily before any work at all TEK sites. The document will be on site, covered with all employees before work begins. All employees must sign an acknowledgement after covering the JSA. If conditions or the work changes on the site you are working on, you must adjust the JSA and rebrief before continuing the work. Hazard communication. You have a right to know what chemical products are on the site. An inventory of chemicals present is available at each TEK site. Safety data sheets for each chemical in the inventory is available on site or from the Director of Safety. If at any time you wish to obtain an SDS, your request will be promptly filled. Personal protective equipment. Safety glasses are required on all TEK sites and must be worn at all times. Safety glasses prevent debris and other foreign objects from entering your eyes. Over-the-ankle, safety-toed work boots are required. Over-the-ankle work boots help to prevent rolled or sprained ankles. The toe protection will save you from painful crush injuries. Some of our customers may require that your safety-toed work boots also have metatarsal guards. If you will be working on one of those sites, your foreman will let you know. In addition to your safety glasses, a face shield must be utilized when grinding or during any task where debris can fly into your eyes, such as sandblasting or using compressed air to blow dirt and debris from surfaces. A special chemical face mask may be required when handling certain chemical products. Gloves will be worn when handling material to prevent cuts and pinches. It may not be safe to wear gloves around operating equipment, within running rolls, or exposed gears which can drag your hands into harm's way. High visibility vests or high visibility outer garment are required on all TEK sites as well. High visibility yellow and orange are the only approved colors for use on TEK work sites. Hard hats are a no-brainer and prevent you from becoming a no-brainer. Hearing protection is to be utilized when loud equipment is in use. As a general rule, if you are within 2 feet of someone and you need to shout to communicate, hearing protection is required. And finally, other personal protective equipment such as a respirator or fall protection may be required as a job or task dictates. Hand and power tools. It is vital to inspect all hand and power tools daily before you resume usage. Included in this inspection, make certain guards on all grinders are in place with absolutely no exceptions. Additionally, if a power tool comes with a handle, it must be utilized. Read and follow all manufacturer's instructions, even if you've used the tool before. Most important, never modify a tool or use it for a purpose other than its intended use. Finally, make certain to both power off and unplug all tools before servicing or adjusting. Electrical safety. As with any other category of safety, the first thing to do with electrical tools and cords is to inspect them daily. Remove all defective tools and cords from service immediately. Do not use duct tape to repair electrical cords. Cheap solutions now are costly solutions later. Make certain the third prong ground is not missing or has not been removed. These prevent electrocution. Also make sure to remove and keep all electrical cords out of standing water. Finally, protect cords that are exposed to vehicle or equipment traffic. Fire protection and hot work. Hot work is considered any work that generates heat or energy to cause ignition, such as a fire, spark, or explosion. Some activities considered hot work are welding, cutting, grinding, chipping, opening energized equipment, sandblasting, and heating metal with a rosebud. Many TEK clients require that we apply for and receive daily hot work permits before starting work. Hot work permits have some specific requirements, such as combustibles within 35 feet of the hot work must be removed, isolated, or covered with a fire blanket. If grinding, sparks, welding slag travel beyond 35 feet, expand the control area. A fire watch must be appointed. This fire watch will have a 20-pound ABC fire extinguisher, can perform no other duties, and must remain on duty for 1/2 hour after completion of the hot work. Where available, use welding screens to control grinding sparks, to separate work areas, and to protect against accidental arc flash. Make certain that all equipment used for hot work is properly inspected and set up. Ladders. Ladder use is second nature to most of us, but year in and year out, falls are the #1 cause of serious accident and deaths for construction workers. We can easily prevent this with a couple of small steps. First off, always inspect ladders each and every day before use. Never lean step ladders against other surface to use them. Instead, open and lock the spreaders and utilize the TP positioning. Extension ladders must extend 36 inches above landings and be secured at all times. Never use a ladder as a scaffold, and finally maintain 3 points of contact when climbing ladders at all times. Scaffolding. Scaffolding also presents a risk for falls. This is why it will only be erected by a qualified erector inspected by a competent person daily before use. All working levels will be fully planked. Do not overload the scaffold planks. Use only ladders to access scaffolds. Never climb the cross braces. OSHA requires scaffolds over 10 feet to have guardrails in place and fall protection for all occupants. Many TEK customers stick to the 6-foot fall protection rule. Make certain you know the site rules before going to work. Finally, do not ride on rolling scaffold. Excavation and trenching. Trenches and excavations are one of the most dangerous tasks we perform. A key to understanding trench safety is knowing and recognizing soil classifications. A competent person will always determine the soil classification at your site, but it still pays for you to be knowledgeable of the different soil types. Let's review them. Solid rock is simple to identify and can be cut vertically. Examples include granite, and sandstone. Type A is the next most solid soil type. Clay and clay mixed with silt or sand typically comprise this group. Trench protection systems available include benching, sloping at a 1 to 3/4 slope, shoring, trench box, or piles. Type B is the next most solid classification. Type B examples include angular gravel, silt, silt loam, and soils that are fissured. Type B soil trench systems available include benching, sloping at a 1-to-1 slope, shoring, trench box, and piles. Type C is the least solid type of soil, typically consisting of granular soil in which particles do not stick together. Type C soil includes gravel and sand. Because it is not stable, soil with water seeping through it is also automatically classified as Type C soil, regardless of the other characteristics. Type C soil may be sloped at a 1 to 1.5 slope, shored, may use a trench box or piles. It may not be benched. As covered above, let's review the different protective systems we use in excavation and trenching: sloping, benching, shoring, trench box, and piling. Trench collapses or cave-ins occur in less than a blink of an eye without warning and often with deadly consequences. Earth weighs approximately 2,500 pounds per yard. Victims often slowly suffocate while simply trying to breathe. Never enter a trench or excavation that is unprotected, even for a second. When excavating, a means of access and egress must be within 25 feet of lateral travel. Once the pipe is in the ditch, there must be access and egress on both sides. Typically, we use ladders or ramps. All ramps must be free of debris and at least a bucket wide or wider for safe travel. Any excavation greater than 20 feet must be designed by a registered professional engineer. All states in our working area require TEK and all other contractors to make a call to their one-call system before we dig. These calls will be made for you by our project management team. Someone from the utility or their representative will come to the site and actually mark the location of known utilities. Let's review the color code system used. White is for the proposed excavation. Pink are temporary survey marks. Red denotes electrical, cables, or conduit. Yellow is gas, oil, steam, petroleum, or gaseous materials. Orange denotes communication, alarm, signal lines, or traffic loops. Blue is water, irrigation lines, or slurry lines. And green is for sewer and storm lines. If you hit an unmarked line during any trenching or excavation, stop work immediately and contact your foreman. Let's talk about some additional trenching and excavation safe practices. It may be necessary to utilize fall protection for some work at the edge of a trench. Make certain any barriers or barricades are properly erected and signs attached to the barrier or barricade stating why it is there and the contact information for the person who erected it. When using trench boxes, read the tabulated data found on the side of the trench box. Make certain you are using the trench box safely and within the manufacturer's recommendations. Some ditches may be designated no entry. Again, never enter a trench or excavation that is not properly protected, even for a second. Bell holes must be large enough to perform all work tasks. Never suspend a load above workers. Utilize stop blocks for equipment and welding rigs. Make certain they are parked in a manner where they cannot accidentally slide into the trench or excavation. Prior to entry, always consider the potential for hazardous atmospheres, especially in low-lying deep excavations. A competent person determines the need for air monitoring. If there is a hazardous atmosphere, a rescue plan must be in place. Access and egress must be made at 4 feet deep. Proper protective systems should always be utilized after 5 feet. Soil piles should be placed at least 2 feet from the edge of excavations, and the daily inspection should always be posted near the excavation. When an occurrence or change in conditions may adversely impact the excavation, such as rain, fissures, seeping, or standing water, vibrations, nearby structures, etc., remove all workers from the excavation and conduct a new inspection. Rigging and scaling. Employees performing rigging tasks are required to attend a rigging safety course, while employees signaling cranes must complete a signaling class. As with all gear, rigging equipment will be inspected daily for use. Conduct a pre-lift meeting before any pick and prepare critical lift plans for all picks over 15,000 pounds or for loads that are in excess of 75% of the rated capacity of the crane at the point of the pick. Daily inspections of all equipment are required before use. Stay 25 feet away from all moving and idle equipment and make certain to get the operator's attention before crossing equipment paths. No riders are allowed on any equipment unless the equipment is equipped to handle more than one person. It is also imperative to provide spotters to help guide operators into tight or blind areas. Operators must wear seat belts at all times if the equipment is equipped with rollover protection systems. Loading, hauling, and stringing pipe. Only trained employees assigned to the given task should be in the work area. Never walk under elevated or suspended loads, and never position yourself between equipment and pipe. Utilize tag lines for your safety and make certain pipe is secure before removing tie downs.
In conclusion, safety must become personal, relevant, and critical so that it governs all of our choices and action on TEK projects while maintaining open and healthy lines of communication between all of our supervisors and all of our employees. At TEK, we all work together to provide a quality standard of living for ourselves and for our families. Take a moment to think about what would happen to you and your family if you were seriously injured at work and could not continue working for a living. We will never ever sacrifice safety for production at TEK. If at any time on any of our projects you feel unsafe or do not understand all of the work activities that you're asked to do that you can perform safely, you are empowered by TEK to call a safety timeout to discuss the situation with your supervisor or with our safety director. All employees have the right and responsibility to call a safety timeout at TEK, and all of our employees are encouraged to do so whenever they feel uncomfortable with their work situation. There will never be any retaliation of any sort against you for making sure that your workplace is safe and that all of our employees on every TEK project are safe. We truly appreciate you sharing our passion for safety. Remember our safety motto, work safe, home safe. Only by working together can we make sure that everyone who works on TEK projects goes home safely each and every day. Thank you for your attention and welcome to the TEK team.